return of the Dark Father, Aleister Black, tonight. We are live, man. Aleister Black is finally back on WWE television, man. I'm happy to see it. I'm happy to see it, man. He looks great. And he's got a new target. And it's a big one in Big E. Fantastic Fatal 4-Way tonight for the Intercontinental Championship. I can't hate on the Intercontinental title being in the main event with some of my favorite wrestlers right now in the WWE, man. Roman Reigns, who's he wrestling at Hell in a Cell? It won't be Cesaro, I'll tell you that much. And it's Daniel Bryan coming back to the WWE. Is he coming back to Friday Night SmackDown? Or is he going to Impact Wrestling? I have the answers for you right here on the only post show you need in the IWC. This is your SmackDown post show right here on Off the Script. What is going on, guys? Thank you so very much for joining me right here on Off the Script. This is your SmackDown post show for May 21st, 2021. I am your host, JD from New York. No intro tonight. We have so much to go over, and I want to get right into everything, guys. I appreciate you joining me on this Friday night. I know it's getting nicer outside. The weather's getting nicer, and we are looking at summer fast approaching. But WWE seems to be heating up, man. We got a lot to go over as far as WWE news is concerned. We have Daniel Bryan being teased by Impact Wrestling. We have WWE going back out on tour in the month of July. This is starting with SmackDown on July 16th, going into Money in the Bank. We got a lot to go over when it comes to that. I got news on Seth Rollins. Aleister Black made his debut, or I should say return. Feels like a debut since we haven't seen him for well over a year. Back on SmackDown tonight. He was in the main event targeting Big E, screwing Big E out of the Intercontinental Championship. And I have all of your news and rumors coming out of SmackDown. So we have a loaded show tonight, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you again for joining me here on the podcast. This is your SmackDown post show. And I want to shout out my sponsor for today's video, man, Manscaped.com. We got the new Lawnmower 4.0, man. We got the new Lawnmower 4.0. And we are going to do an unboxing right here on the live stream, on the podcast. They were kind enough to send me a new Lawnmower 4.0, and we're going to do a big unboxing right here on the live stream tonight, guys. So you guys will get to see what this looks like. And if you guys go to manscaped.com and you use code SCRIPT20, they will give you 20% off your entire purchase, man. So I want to thank them for definitely being on board tonight for the SmackDown post show right here on Off the Script. Make sure you guys follow me on social media, man, at JDfromNY206. That's on Twitter and on Instagram. Hit that subscribe button down below. Turn on the bell for all notifications. If you guys want to hit that thumbs up as well, I would greatly appreciate it. We are looking at 286 likes at the start of the stream. Let's try for the goal of 750 as always. Let's see if we could get up to that, guys. I would really appreciate it. It helps out the video and the podcast tremendously. If you missed anything on the channel that I've uploaded this week, we were live on Monday for Raw, live on Tuesday when NXT went down. The NXT didn't go down. YouTube went down, which caused my NXT podcast to go down. So if you guys missed any of that stuff, I was live. I might have been the only one live. I might have been the only one live on YouTube Tuesday night, but we pushed through it. We got a great show out for you guys in its entirety. So go check that out. Wednesday, I was live with my boy Jesse. We talked about Dynamite as we're getting ready for Double or Nothing in Jacksonville. And I'm here tonight for SmackDown, which was a very, very good show tonight. And I say that because a lot of my favorite people in the company right now are on this show. You had that great main event with Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens, Apollo Crews, Big E. I love all four of those guys. We got Aleister Black being thrown into the IC title mix where it's definitely where he is needed, and it's exactly where he should be. And then we got Rick Bugenhagen debuting tonight on SmackDown. I don't really get the pairing between Rick Bugenhagen and Shinsuke Nakamura, but in this instance, man, I don't even give a shit. I don't care because Rick Bugenhagen's got more charisma than more people in this company even realize. And the fact that he showed up and he's shredding guitar solos and he's jamming out on guitar, he's playing a fucking Jackson Flying V electric guitar on SmackDown, rocking out to Shinsuke Nakamura's theme song, giving him the distraction with the electric guitar as he defeats Baron Corbin. I love it. It doesn't make sense. I don't know why the pairing is happening. I don't give a shit why he's there. I just love it. I really do. I think it's great. We're going to talk about that tonight as well. So like I said, guys, it's a loaded show. And again, as always, my sponsor for tonight's show, Manscaped, manscaped.com. Make sure you guys go and check that out. Link is in the description of this very video. We're going to start at the top, guys. I want to talk about WWE announcing that they are going back on tour. They are hitting the road in July 16th to be exact. And this is coming from the Mat Men podcast and my boy Andrew Zarian. They are with the Observer family. And WWE finally got this news out to the general public, officially confirmed. WWE is going back out on tour. 25-city tour starting in July. WWE is getting back on the road. The announcement was expected, as many reports have already leaked regarding their plans for July. Money in the Bank was already expected for Texas, with SummerSlam all but confirmed taking place in Las Vegas. Now, I would love to go out to Las Vegas for SummerSlam. I'd love to meet all my off-the-script goons out in Las Vegas, but I'll tell you what, man, I don't really want to be in Las Vegas where you could be strolling down the Vegas Strip and it's 116 fucking degrees in the middle of August. That's not what I really call a good time, bro. So I'm not sure. But the company just announced a 25-city tour on top of all that will run through Labor Day. Now, the reason why they say it that way, that it will run through Labor Day, is because WWE is strategically planning what to do after Labor Day, as they need to obviously choose and pick which towns and which cities they will be able to perform in front of. With all of the current restrictions, sometimes you're going to run into that. Some states, some cities still have restrictions in place. Some of them are a little bit more free. So WWE strategically is going to have to pick and choose where they have to be. And those restrictions are going to definitely be a thorn in WWE's side. But I'm just glad that they are back out on the road. And the Thunderdome concept is going away for at least the foreseeable future. Fox Sports got the exclusive news that WWE is returning to the road. The first 3 events will go on sale on Wednesday, May 26th at 11 a.m. Those first 3 events will include SmackDown, Money in the Bank, and Raw, all taking place in Texas. And they are still yet to confirm about SummerSlam And that location more than likely will be Las Vegas, according to a lot of different people. If it all lines up and everybody's saying the same thing, it's all but confirmed. Breaking news, WWE tweets. WWE returns to live events with a 25-city tour running through Labor Day. The tour starts with the July 16th Friday Night SmackDown at the Toyota Center in Houston, Texas. That will be the 16th Friday. Sunday, July 18, Money in the Bank at the Dickies Arena in Fort Worth, Texas. And then Monday Night Raw, July 19th at the American Airlines Center in Dallas. Brian Alvarez on The Observer stated this, and I quote, "We talked about this yesterday. So Money in the Bank is going to have fans. Our very own Andrew Zarian says Friday, July 16th, SmackDown is indeed the first non-WrestleMania show with fans. So that's when they are coming back, Friday, July 16. Then, of course, there will be Money in the Bank and that pay-per-view, and they will be going on into Raw as well." He has also noted that there will be new stages, new entranceways. That's when everything goes back to normal. There may be mildly limited capacity. Who knows by the time July rolls around, end quote. Like I said before, WWE would have some restrictions in place. They would absolutely have to adhere to the social distancing restriction, mask requirements in some of these states, Texas and Florida. They're a little bit more lenient with that. By July, it's expected that there will be minimal rules in place in most cities, now with vaccines being widely available and the CDC relaxing rules for masks for indoor venues. I am thrilled about this, man. I don't really have any more to add on top of what I've already stated this week about the live shows returning. But I can't wait for WWE to get out of the Thunderdome. I thought it was a great concept for what it was. I thought it absolutely has done its job. But I don't really want to hear another piped-in fake crowd ever again. WWE has relied on the Thunderdome for far too long. And I'm really, really over it. And the reason why I say this is because WWE has lived in their own bubble for the past year and a half. They've done things their own way. They've pushed who they wanted. They de-pushed who they wanted. They didn't feature this one. They featured that one. WWE told you to cheer for who they want to cheer. WWE told you to boo for who they want booed. It's all over. It's all over. WWE has had a beautiful, safe space from the real voices that matter for far too long. Now we get our voices back. Now you, the fans who actually want to pay your fucking money to go watch this shit product on a weekly basis, God bless your souls, it couldn't be me. You get to pay your money and you go get to voice your opinion to WWE about what you want, what you don't want, who you like, who you don't like, and let them fucking have it when the majority of these shows fucking suck. That's what I want. I want you to scream your heart out about what you don't like, because WWE's been coddled for the last year and a half. Nobody knows that these shows suck inside WWE. For all we know, they think they're doing a fantastic job. So I'm glad that the fans are back, because if we get shows like we've gotten the majority of the shows for the past year and a half, the crowd is going to shit on all that they do. You think WWE is going to get away with the Alexa Bliss bullshit? With her doing magic and black goo and fireballs and fucking Lily in front of a live crowd? A live crowd, especially a live active wrestling city, is going to spit that shit out and piss on it. I can't wait. WWE has done all this childish shit. They've gotten way too comfortable doing what they want to do. It's all over. It is all over. WWE doesn't know how over a Matt Riddle could be. WWE doesn't know how over a Keith Lee could have been in front of an actual audience. WWE won't know how bad Monday Night Raw is until fans fucking revolt inside whatever arena they're taking place in. It's going to be glorious. It really is going to be glorious. I even look at tonight's debut with Eric Bugenhagen. Imagine that in front of a live audience, man. If you got actual live rabid wrestling fans and you see Eric Bugenhagen show up on stage with a fucking electric Jackson Flying V guitar and he shredded to Shinsuke Nakamura's theme song, he's fucking riffing out and guitar soloing, you're not gonna fucking embrace that shit, man? I mean, that's the type of shit. WWE don't know how over Rick Bugenhagen's going to be. It's going to be great. It's going to be awesome. So WWE back in front of a live audience, man, I can't wait because the training wheels are now off. Now WWE's got to actually start putting some fucking effort into their shows. And Bruce, you're going to have to start trying again, man. I know that may sound a little difficult to you, but you're going to have to start trying, okay? I look forward to WWE producing good shows, but we all know that we're not going to get that. I've been saying it for the past year and a half. The shows that you've gotten are the same exact shows that WWE is going to put on when fans are back. Why does WWE need to put on good shows when they got fucking 7 figures coming on in from goddamn Warner Brothers to promote fucking zombies eating the Miz? They made over 7 figures for that zombie skit at Backlash. And this is a company that you expect to put on good shows because now fans are back in attendance? Give me a break. Give me a fucking break, man. I'm glad. Get rid of the virtual geeks. Get rid of the virgins on screen who cheer for nobody and we can't hear them. I'm glad that they're gone. Go away. You were sickening to look at, man. Live human beings, live energy. I want to fucking see pulses. I want to see blood rushing through people's veins, man. I want to see it all. So I'm glad that they're back, and they're back to live audiences. Now, why? Why did it take WWE so long, and what was the push to get them back out before their original plan of Summerslam, and then we'll go live? Well, Fox was the one that wanted answers about WWE going back on the road sooner than SummerSlam. WWE, obviously, like we just talked about, back on the road in July. Fox executives have obviously read those reports as well. They would like some answers. After all, Fox is paying a ton of fucking money to air SmackDown, which is a boring show on most weeks, would be just as bad as Raw if they didn't actually have Roman Reigns and Paul Heyman on the show. They don't have any return on their investment, does Fox. WWE's been shilling themselves to Fox, and the shows have been piss poor for it in front of the virtual geeks. Now, according to WrestleVotes, Fox is pressing WWE for information regarding their return to touring. This is a very important piece of information that has apparently not been shared yet, but Fox would like to remedy this situation. Now, WrestleVotes tweets out, heard from very reliable sources that Fox has privately pushed for return to live crowds over the past few weeks, actively seeking updates on timeframes and etc. They'd like their billion-dollar investment on the same playing field as Major League Baseball, the NBA, and other major sports that are moving to full capacity. End quote. WWE is taking their time announcing more than just the 25 dates. Friday Night SmackDown on July 16th. That'll be the go-home show for Money in the Bank. And once WWE starts touring again, there are no plans for them to stop. Fox apparently has been waiting for some official updates from WWE, but they should really know that this is WWE that we're talking about. They don't fill anybody in on anything that's happening any week regarding their product. It takes them up until about 7:30 before the live shows air on Monday or Friday night for us, the fans, to find out what's fucking happening. Fox is waiting on answers about shit from WWE. Good luck with that. They let you know when they're ready. That's the way it works. So why is WWE going out on tour well before the original date of SummerSlam with live fans? Fox pushed for it. And if anybody, and I'm telling you this right away, right now, if anybody tells you that it's not a part of the AEW effect, give me a break, folks. You may be the dumbest fucking idiot in the IWC if you don't think this has anything to do with AEW going to full capacity for Double or Nothing at Daly's Place and then going out on the road themselves July 7th. Bullshit. If anybody tells you, oh, AEW has nothing to do with this, they are blatantly lying to you, their audience. Some fucking geek in the IWC is going to fucking take his hatred out on WWE, or AEW rather. He's going to take his hatred out on AEW and spread lies. This is definitely a part of the AEW effect. AEW announced that they were touring first before any other major wrestling promotion. You don't think Fox heard that news? That's what pushed Fox to get on WWE's ass. WWE's never going to do anything, that we want to do. We wanted fans back fully after WrestleMania. They could have brought fans back, but we didn't get it. All of a sudden, AEW announces that they're going back on tour. Now WWE is going back out on tour a week after AEW announced their tour dates. That's not a coincidence to you? It has everything to do with the AEW effect. AEW's been having WWE on their puppet strings for a year and a half now. How does it feel? I've been saying AEW effect from day one. It is still thriving, and it's as strong as ever. Now, towards WWE. So that's the update. That's the news on that. So we will go over that a little bit more when we have more dates, more information, more cities, more venues. I will keep you guys posted on all of that as it becomes readily available. Let's get into the top of the show, man. SmackDown started off in one of the most uncreative, uninteresting, and downright laziest ways I've seen in months. Michael Cole introduced the show, and all we see is champions. All of the champions on SmackDown on stage, standing side by side. They were all standing next to each other. It's the top tier of WWE, the proud men and proud women of our company who hold the gold. So Sonya Deville was in the ring. She talked about SmackDown leaving the Thunderdome and returning to the road where they belong. She introduced each of the champions on the stage and said it's an extra special episode of SmackDown. It would only be extra special if Bruce was permanently removed from head of creative. Apollo Crews interrupted Deville and asks why she is disrespecting him by saying he is defending his title tonight against 3 other guys. He complained that the odds are stacked against him, but he will still retain his title in the end. He kissed the IC title. Sonya indulged him, but tried to move on to everything else she wanted to mention. She introduced Bianca Belair. She stood there smiling, twirling her hair. Sonya then announced Roman Reigns. And out came Paul Heyman, who said the stage isn't a parade of champions, it's a parade of title holders. Roman Reigns isn't a title holder, he is a champion. He isn't just a champion, he is the preeminent champion of WWE and of all sports entertainment. So that's when someone buys tickets to the upcoming live events. Who are they going to go pay and see? It's Roman Reigns. They will do so with the confidence of seeing the tribal chief. He said that he and Reigns, they will have a parade of champion later on tonight at Roman Reigns' leisure. He thanked everybody and walked away. Sonya said that was the first surprise of the evening and probably not the last. She then asked everyone to give a hand to the champions, all the virtual geeks, clapping their hands. Oh my God, look, it's Bianca Belair. So you got the geeks clapping along because Sonya Deville told you to. And Bayley all of a sudden entered the ring and she interrupted the entire segment. She complained, how could you talk about champions when I'm not out here? She wasn't acknowledged because she thinks that her 380 days as the longest reigning SmackDown Women's Champion should be acknowledged. She talked about each of the champions, obviously leaving Belair for last. She said she used her stupid ponytail as a weapon to win at WrestleMania and again at Backlash to beat her to retain that SmackDown championship. She said she's not a champion, she's a criminal. I think the only thing criminal on this show is the fucking creative writing team. How they steal 3 hours of our time on Monday night every fucking week with goddamn reruns and rematches, man, and nobody says anything. I'll never know. I'll never know. Shayna Baszler and Nia Jax were out there. They interrupted this after Bayley called Bianca a criminal. Bayley and Belair had a face-off in the ring, and Belair flaunted the championship. If you want it, come and take it. This is when Shayna and Nia attacked Belair from behind. Bayley joined in, beat her down. It was a 3-on-1. Natayla and Tamina saved the day. They jumped in to even the odds. And we are looking at a 6-woman tag team match to open Friday Night SmackDown. If you want to talk about unexciting, folks, just start the show off with fucking Natty and Tamina Snuka with Nia Jax in the same fucking match. I thought we were supposed to start these shows off hot and exciting. I don't really understand it. This entire opening was fucking weird, man. The entire opening to this show was fucking weird. Gathering everybody on the stage for what? What are we gathering champions for on SmackDown? Nothing during the week, nothing in the previous episodes of SmackDown were indicative of champions being commemorated and celebrated and brought out in celebration whatsoever. So why do we have champions on stage on SmackDown just feeling all weird and looking bizarre? They all looked awkward. And then the one gleaming issue here with this is, folks, where was Roman Reigns? Where was Roman Reigns? You guys want the fucking crickets for Nia Jax. This is exactly what you're going to get. Hold on a sec. There you go. Why is Roman Reigns not out there, folks? Roman Reigns is a champion, right? Roman Reigns wasn't out there. What does that tell you about Roman Reigns and what everybody else is looking at on stage? You got the Mysterios, you got Rey and Dominik, you got Bianca Belair, you got fucking Tamina Snuka and Natalya, you got Apollo Crews with Commander Aziz out there, right? I love most of these people outside of Tamina and Natty, but what you're looking at are cartoon champions. You're looking at unimportant champions. If WWE thought this was important, if WWE thought that this was, let me shut these fucking crickets off. They're making my ears bleed here, man. They're making me feel lost in thought. If WWE thought that champions were important, don't you think Roman Reigns would be out there? The only one that matters is Roman Reigns. And the reason why Roman Reigns is out there is because they didn't want Roman Reigns standing out there with fucking cartoon characters. That's why. Roman Reigns is head and shoulders above all. Nobody on that stage is even on the same planet as Roman Reigns. That's why they didn't put Roman Reigns to stand out there with them. Everybody out there looked like a fucking geek. Roman Reigns is not a geek. That's the reason why Roman Reigns was not out there. It goes to show you what WWE thinks of everybody else and Roman Reigns by the simple fact that they don't want Roman Reigns standing in the same shot or associating with anybody else on the fucking show. Moving on. Natty and Tamina versus Nia Jax and Shayna Baszler. I'm sorry, Natty, Tamina, and Bianca versus Nia Jax, Shayna Baszler, and Bayley. So Bayley was in control. Bayley was in control against Belair. She eventually tagged in Tamina, who power slammed Bayley, then tagged in Natalya. She gave Bayley a German suplex, then tagged in Tamina, who super kicked Bayley, went for a near fall cover, got a 2 count. Bayley grabbed the bottom rope to force a break. A couple of minutes later, Natty landed a discus clothesline. Belair went for a handspring move. Looked like she was going for her handspring moonsault, standing moonsault. But when Belair was in mid-handspring on Baszler, Bayley pulled her out of the ring. When Natalya yelled down at Bayley, Baszler put Natty in the Kirifuda clutch from behind, and Shayna Baszler got the tap-out victory over one half of the tag team champions. I went into this thinking Okay, let's look at these teams. We got Natty and Tamina. They just won the tag team championships. They can't fucking lose 1 week after winning those championships. So they are out of the equation. They more than likely aren't getting pinned. Bianca Belair is the SmackDown Women's Champion. She's not getting pinned either, being that she probably has another match looming with Bayley. Nia Jax, you know WWE doesn't pin Nia Jax. It may be physically impossible for WWE to book that situation. Bayley, I don't see Bayley doing anything as far as taking a loss in a match like this. She already lost at Backlash. I was thinking by process of elimination, it would definitely be Shayna Baszler. Shayna Baszler's been the new Humberto Carrillo on SmackDown. She has now taken over the real estate in the alphabet, taking home that letter L. She's been quite the loser on WWE television. So by process of elimination, I thought Shayna Baszler was going to lose this match for sure. But here I am, calling me fucking surprised, Bruce. We got WWE booking Shayna Baszler to get a tap-out victory over Natty and Tamina, the tag team champions. Now, what this does is set up Natty and Tamina to defend those tag team championships once again against Shayna Baszler and Nia Jax. A match that nobody really gives a shit to see again. I don't know why Nia Jax and Shayna Baszler are a fucking tag team. I really don't understand why anybody in WWE opts to keep these two women together. Shayna Baszler needs a split from Nia Jax. Like I need a fucking beer on a hot summer afternoon, man. It really is that bad. Nia Jax and Shayna Baszler need to be split. I can't even begin to tell you how Nia Jax has brought down Shayna Baszler and her stock in immense numbers. It is so fucking valueless. It is fucking ridiculous. I can't even picture Shayna Baszler the way she once was in NXT because of the way WWE has booked her. It is awful. So why this is a tag team, why we're getting another match with these two teams, I don't know. But this is the way SmackDown started. It did not start off good with the parade of champions on the stage. And here we got this 6-woman tag, which really did nothing but give us another rematch on Monday Night Raw for the tag team championships and give us another situation where we already knew Bayley and Bianca Belair were going to be feuding going into the Hell in a Cell pay-per-view. I don't really give a shit. Caleb Braxton interviewed Big E backstage, and he was very happy. He said tonight he stands in the ring with dogs. He says, no, not a terrier or a bulldog or a pit bull. He is in the ring with 4 guys that have proven they are at the top of their profession, 4 future Hall of Famers. He said he will leave no doubt he is in the ring with these guys, and he's going to come out as a deserving Intercontinental Champion. He told Kayla, there's no denying it. So that's that. I had a feeling that Big E was not going to win the Intercontinental Championship tonight, but we will talk about that a little bit later on when we get to the main event. Aleister Black and another vignette aired. Story time with Mr. Black talking about his father and his past. This one was titled Beautiful Pain. He said the tattoos on his body represents pain that serves a purpose. He said there is no lying with pain. It is honest. It is truth. He asked where he would be without the truth of agony. He said they represent sins that they embody. You all live proudly in your cesspool of sins and denial because it is who you all are. It has become your identity to be loathsome and blithe. You are sick and dying animals, and it is time for me to separate the weak from the strong. He then went on to say that his father taught him that it is now time to cull the herd. This was probably and I mean no pun intended here, the most beautiful of Aleister Black vignettes. It almost reminded me of a scene out of Red Dragon. If you guys know the movie Red Dragon, it is one of my favorite movies of all time. It's in the Hannibal Lecter series of movies. Ralph Fiennes played the fucking psycho freak in the movie who did a fantastic job. It reminded me of a scene in the movie where Ralph Fiennes took hostage a TV reporter or tabloid dirt sheet writer. He bound him to a fucking wheelchair and he glued his scalp to a wall and glued his wrists and his arms and his legs to a wheelchair so he can't move. And he's showing pictures of what the dragon really means. And then Ralph Fiennes is there taking off his robe and you see this big fucking dragon on his back and what the dragon, it symbolizes to Ralph Fiennes, and he's become the dragon. Aleister Black was standing in a circle of candles, a pentagram, I should say, and he was showing off his tattoos. He had his arms out. It looked legitimately like a take off of Red Dragon and what Ralph Fiennes did in the movie. It was great. This was great. Aleister Black is doing some really good stuff right now, man. They need to stick with this. This seems to be a take on what he's doing moving forward, a take on his past, maybe some truth with his father there, what he really believes. Bring all that stuff to light. That's going to get over. People will be more invested in who he really is. I think this is going to be great for Aleister Black. I really do. I didn't really expect him to debut tonight in full wrestling gear, fucking over Big E in the main event, but I got no problems with that. Guy should have been on TV fucking a year ago. Guy should have been in a championship program multiple times with somebody on some brand. Maybe Drew McIntyre, multiple-time IC champion. This guy is finally getting pushed, and I have absolutely no problem with that. Now, WWE, the thing is, they tend to get bored with people. The way that they're pushing Aleister Black and the way that they're investing time into him and money into him to get these beautiful illustrations via these vignettes, I don't see WWE wasting our time with this, putting him on TV and then scaling him back. What good would that do? That would only anger fucking people, and then it would anger Aleister Black, who's probably got a fucking contract year coming up relatively soon. You don't want him to walk. You got nothing out of him. The guy has shown you nothing because you've suppressed him for over a year and a half, 3 years to be exact. Ever since he got called up from NXT. Done nothing. Now, if you put Aleister Black in that mid-card, look at the fucking mid-card you got now for the IC title, man. You got Apollo Crews, Sami Zayn, Kevin Owens, Big E, and now Aleister Black. You throw Shinsuke Nakamura in the mix. You throw Baron Corbin in the mix. You throw Chad Gable in the mix. This is the time you need to start building talent. This is the time. There should be absolutely no fucking excuses as to why WWE can't have a competitive intercontinental title picture. Let's get some matches on TV. Let's get some wins under some of these guys. Let's get some competition for that championship, and let's start getting that championship back to where it needs to be. That's what needs to happen. I'm stoked that he's back on TV. This guy deserves a chance. He was never given one. And by the looks of things, he's going to knock it out of the park. Speaking of Baron Corbin came out. Michael Cole made a comment that he didn't realize how bald Baron Corbin was because all he does is wear that fucking crown. So they replayed Corbin pinning Nakamura last week, then a clip of Nakamura parading around in his convertible wearing the crown. He was playing with his cat with the crown on. He was sipping some tea with the crown on. So Nakamura is making a mockery of Corbin's crown. So Corbin was in the ring. He's seen all this on the big screen. He says he wasn't going to say anything, but that was the most disrespectful thing I've ever seen. He said Nakamura may call himself the king of strong style, but he is no real king. He called Nakamura's cat shabby and fat and said a real king respects the crown. He said he'll grind his face into the canvas and then send the crown to be cleaned and polished properly. He yelled for Nakamura to come on out. Cole said they can't call him King Corbin anymore because he doesn't have a crown, so it's just Corbin. So I guess they forgot the name of Baron Corbin. Nobody can call him Baron Corbin anymore. It's just Corbin. So unofficially, WWE and Vince have chopped off Baron Corbin's first name. If you can't call him King, you can't call him Baron. What type of stupidity is that? So Corbin was in the ring, and all of a sudden he's interjected by Rick Bugenhagen. My boy Rick Boogs from NXT. The heavy metal fucking god. Eric Bugenhagen, man. It is ridiculous. This was ridiculous, but it was ridiculous in a good way. He's now known as Rick Boogs. Now, Bugenhagen, he was going under that name in NXT. They changed it. It's now Rick Boogs. It was Buegz. Boogs. Now, apparently, it's Boogs, I believe. Boogs. So they changed it. God knows why. I'll get to that in a second. But Rick Bugenhagen came out and he's rocking out on guitar. He's playing Shinsuke Nakamura's theme song. He's soloing to the theme. He's fast picking the fucking theme. He's then chugging some riffs to go along with this theme song. And then he yells out like he's fucking Rob Halford or fucking Tim Owens. He's fucking screaming like he's in a power metal band. I laughed my ass off because I love me some fucking power metal, man. Give me some fucking Judas Priest. Give me some Iced Earth. Give me some fucking Stu Block Iced Earth. That's my favorite Iced Earth, Stu Block. Matt Barlow is okay, but I'm more of a Stu guy. So he's there, he's doing some power metal screams, like somebody squeezing his balls, and I'm loving every bit of this, man. I'm loving every bit of this. Out comes Nakamura. Corbin didn't know what the fuck was going on. He was very confused by all of this. So we get another match with Nakamura and Baron Corbin. So this was not bad. This was a lot better than last week. But I'm very bored with WWE's lack of creativity. I don't really understand why WWE books feuds in the most simplest, childish, kiddie-like way possible. This entire feud is 2 weeks long, and it stems from Shinsuke Nakamura losing a match to Baron Corbin and then stealing his crown. That's the whole basis of this feud. Shinsuke Nakamura stole Baron Corbin's crown. Let's have these guys feud over stolen property. That's it. Now, I don't know. You may be a fan of Nakamura. You may be a fan of Baron Corbin. I don't know why or how. But you may be a fan of both of these guys. One of these guys. But I don't know how anybody could find themselves interested in a storyline feud that surrounds itself around a stolen piece of fucking property. It's like the Repo Man stealing somebody's fucking watch. Oh my God, the Repo Man confiscated somebody's watch. Will they get it back next week? That's what you call engaging television? I don't. You got to do better than that. I don't know why we just didn't do big boy plans here. Shinsuke Nakamura comes out of all fucking people. Hey, asshole, you call yourself King Corbin. You're parading around here for 3 fucking years calling yourself King Corbin. Your name is Baron Corbin. You can't be fucking king for 3 years and then expect everybody to accept it. There hasn't been a fucking King of the Ring tournament in 3 fucking years. I'm the king of strong style. You don't see me going around WWE management and backstage calling myself the king of strong style. You want to call yourself the king of something? Let's settle it this way. I propose to you, if I go to WWE management to enter a King of the Ring tournament, 16 guys in total, I dare you, if you think you're a king and good enough, I want you to enter the tournament and defend that crown again. See if you could do another repeat in the King of the Ring. And then you have Baron Corbin fucking dominate the tournament. And then whoever you want to book with him in the final, say it could be Shinsuke Nakamura or anybody really, then you have that guy beat Baron Corbin and you crown a new king, King Nakamura. Kind of rolls off the tongue. King Shinsuke. Again, kind of rolls off the tongue. Why are we not doing big boy things, but, oh, look, Shinsuke Nakamura stole his crown. Let's have a match. Give me a break. So Nakamura wins in 7 minutes here. This was not bad. Nakamura made a comeback after Baron Corbin was beating him down for a little bit. Boogs was outside. He was talking some shit in the Rick Bugenhagen way. So Nakamura made a comeback after Baron Corbin was on the offensive for a little bit. And Corbin, again, showed some frustration after knocking Nakamura back for a little bit. Nakamura kicked out of a German suplex. And Boogs, all of a sudden, he gets on the table, on the announce table, and he starts playing Shinsuke Nakamura's theme music again. Now, I loved Rick Bugenhagen on the outside. I didn't even think he was fucking plugged in. He was just shredding away. There was no music or sound coming out of the guitar. I thought he was just shredding away. So all of a sudden, he gets on the table, and he distracts Baron Corbin by playing Shinsuke Nakamura's theme song on guitar again. This leads to a distraction. Nakamura rolled Corbin up for a 1-2-3, and that was it. That was it. Corbin put the crown back on his head and celebrated, Nakamura rather. Nakamura put the crown back on his head and started celebrating with Boogs. Corbin was in the ring yelling it was mine. So he doesn't have his crown back, and now we have 50-50 booking. But now we have a new pairing of Rick Bugenhagen and Shinsuke Nakamura. I don't get it. I don't understand it. But I don't give a shit. I think it looks good. It sounds good. He's got more charisma than most people on this roster. And it freshens things up. The reaction that I saw on social media with Boogs was great. And the thing with Boogs is, and I've said this time and time again, I've said this to people when House of Glory was running shows before the pandemic. I was actually heavily involved with a lot of different things back there at House of Glory. The one thing that I always mentioned, and what Brian XL always mentioned, and I always think about the conversations that we had as a team. And the one thing that was discussed was characters are important to professional wrestling. That is one thing that he spoke to all of us about. Character-driven personalities is what's going to build this company. And that is exactly the same way that I think. Corey Graves actually came out, if I have it in my notes, Corey Graves came out on After the Bell this week and said something very, very interesting. And this is why I bring this up. Corey Graves was on After the Bell, and he said that Raw and SmackDown, they need to be character-driven shows. There needs to be more character development on Raw and SmackDown. He says this, and I quote, "The one way that the industry has changed as a whole is I feel there's a lot less focus on characters these days. Right, wrong, or indifferent. Everybody's got their flavor of ice cream, what they prefer. I always missed and loved being invested in the characters we see on Raw and on SmackDown and on NXT. I've said I would like to see more character pieces. However, it's almost more of an incentive to subscribe to the WWE Network on Peacock to really dive into these specials, whether it would be 24 or Chronicles, to really get to know the person behind what you've seen on screen for a fraction of the show. There are so many awesome documentaries that our teams put together about all the superstars and beyond the superstars, the behind the scenes of some of the WrestleManias. I honestly don't think our documentary department gets enough love because what they put out almost on a weekly basis at this point is such an important, valuable companion to what we are seeing on Raw and SmackDown. And again, everyone's got their own opinion. I would like to see more character-driven content in the shows themselves, but now you just have to look a little bit further to expand on it." End quote. He is exactly 100% correct. There needs to be more focus on characters. Why was The Fiend so over? First of all, Bray Wyatt was incredibly over in the Eater of Worlds version. Why? Because it was a character. It was based off Waylon Mercy. Waylon Mercy was a great character. It was different. Bray Wyatt put his own spin on that. Bray was heavily influenced by that. Then we saw The Fiend. When that version of Bray Wyatt went away, Bray Wyatt put himself in a funhouse with all the puppets that comprise his universe. Then he's got this alter ego that comes out when evil shit happens called The Fiend. Why was The Fiend so over in this version of WWE? In this modern day, childish, watered down WWE product, why was The Fiend the most over entity in the company? Why was The Fiend the #1 merch seller in WWE? It's because people were thirsty for characters. People wanted something different. Bray embodied something different. This is why I love The Undertaker. Nobody will ever duplicate what The Undertaker did. This is why I love pro wrestling back when I was growing up. You had your Razor Ramones, you had your Gold Dusts, you had all these guys, Vader. You had all these guys that had fucking personality. Sting. Look at Sting and all the fucking, the different versions of Sting we got. He's one of the biggest names in the history of this business. Hulk Hogan, the Ultimate Warrior, Ravishing Rick Rude, Mr. Perfect, Bret the Hitman Hart, the Heartbreak Kid, Shawn Michaels, Kevin Nash when he was Diesel, Bam Bam Bigelow, Tatanka. I always raved about the narcissist Lex Luger. Whether you like Lex Luger or not, that was my favorite version of Lex Luger. The narcissist Lex Luger. He was perfect for that role. Look in NXT. Who do I love in NXT and who do I rave about all the time in NXT? Dexter Lumis. Dexter Lumis is a character. Dexter Lumis is different. Now you look at the WWE roster, you look at NXT, and everybody feels the same. Everybody's out there either wrestling under their original own name, their real life name. Everybody looks the same. Everybody does the same moves. Nobody's different. Nobody's different at all. You can't tell anybody apart. There's no personalities. There's no backstory on any of these guys that are all vanilla. WWE doesn't give you any reason to care about everybody. That's why everybody comes off the same. And then when we have character-driven personalities like The Fiend, WWE ends up making a boatload of money on it. They think they could do it better, and then they fuck everything up, and it's buried beyond recognition to a point where people fucking hate it. So when people ask me why I dig Eric Bugenhagen or Rick Boogs now, it's because he's a character. He's got charisma. It's because it's different. Yeah, we got our Eliases, we got our fucking Jeff Jarrett's and the Honky Tonk Man, everybody that did the guitar thing. All those guys, they had their own version of the guitar gimmick. Eric Bugenhagen deserves an opportunity to get that shit over. He's got more charisma than most of those guys. Is it going to work? I don't know. But I know I attended an NXT show and I saw Rick Bugenhagen there come out, do his fucking thing. People went fucking crazy. In fact, they were chanted for him to come back out and do an encore. If WWE gets him in front of an audience, he's going to be over. And if he gets over, that's when I start worrying, because then WWE sees a moneymaker and then they don't know what to fucking do with it. Character-driven personalities. We don't see it. We hardly see it. Why don't we see it? Because WWE don't have the creativity and the brain power to come up and think anymore. They just get by with what they got. They get by based on what has NXT done with this person, and they get by on what that person has done to accumulate some sort of name value for themselves in the indies, then mixed with WWE, and then they just throw them to TV, and then they expect them to swim, but more than likely, they're going to sink, because WWE doesn't give any effort into building or creating characters for these people. That's the fucking problem. It's the creative writing. It really is the creative writing. I would love to see more character-driven personalities on this show. I'm not saying Doink the Clown or fucking shit like that. I'm talking about what made the $1 Million Man special. Talking about what made those types of guys special. You don't see it anymore. So Corey Graves is 100% right. Let me know what you guys think about that one down below. Check the live stream here, man. We got 1,400 live right now inside the OTS venue. I appreciate you guys joining me this evening. Super chats are open. You guys can get them on in. We'll hang out at the end of the show. We got a lot more to go over. I got some news on Seth Rollins. I got some news on Daniel Bryan. I got the rest of SmackDown to go over. We're going to jump into hour 2. But before I do that, guys, I want to take a little bit of a breather. I want to take a little bit of a timeout. And I want to shout out my sponsor for today's show. And I mentioned them a couple of times already, man. We are looking at Manscaped.com. And they were generous enough to send me the new Lawnmower 4.0. We're going to do an unboxing right now, folks. I want to go over a little bit about Manscaped and the new Lawnmower 4.0. Now, like I said, this podcast is sponsored by Manscaped. They are the best in the men's below-the-waist grooming. They are the world champions. They are the Roman Reigns of the below-the-waist men's grooming. They are the tribal chiefs. Or Manscaped.com. Manscaped offers precision-engineered tools for your family jewels. Now, they just launched their 4th-generation trimmer, the Lawnmower 4.0. Yes, they've had 3 other versions of this same product I'm about to show you, and this is the best one yet. Over 2 million men worldwide trust Manscaped. With this exclusive offer tonight, you guys can save 20% off using code SCRIPT20 at checkout at manscaped.com. Let's open this thing up, man. What do we got in here? It's a whole new balls game. Yeah. What do we got in here? We got the actual Manscaped Lawnmower 4.0. Let's get mowing. The new Lawnmower 4.0. You got instructions. You got the user guide, quick start guide. You got the actual Lawnmower 4.0. This is high quality plastic. You got some matte finish and you got some high polish, which looks great. You got the Manscaped logo right there on the front and then again on the back. Wow. You got an LED light. I don't know who's going to be shaving their balls in the dark, but we got an LED light right there, but that looks nice too. Feels good, man. It feels sturdy. Feels great to hold it in your hand, man. You ever pick up a set of something that you're shaving with and it feels flimsy? This feels like it's made to do the job. I'll tell you that right now. We got a USB charger. Looks like you could actually plug this into your computer and charge it. You got a wall adapter, so that's good there. You got a stand. Ooh, the stand is nice. The stand is nice. Look at that. You can put it right in your bathroom, man, and make a nice presentation. And then you got the USB cord plugs right into the back. That's awesome, man. Loving it. Loving it. You got 2 different attachments here. One for a finer grooming. And then you got a longer blade there as well. So that's pretty awesome. I'm loving it. And then you got a cleaning brush. You got a cleaning brush there as well. It's awesome stuff, man. I'm loving it. Quality stuff right there. I'm unboxing it right here on the show. Now, like I said, Manscaped is engineered for the ultimate groin grooming body trimmer by focusing on intelligent functionality. And it's incredibly comfortable as well. This experience is going to be very comfortable, man. Their 4th-generation trimmer features a cutting-edge ceramic blade to reduce grooming accidents thanks to their advanced skin-safe technology. And this upgraded trimmer includes a multi-function on and off switch that can engage a travel lock. It also gives you the ability to turn the 4000K LED spotlight on and off when needed for a more precise shave. The Lawnmower 4.0 even allows you to customize your trim through additional guard lengths with sizes going 1 to 4. And this has wireless charging as well. The new wireless charging system uses electromagnetic induction, which can help battery length last longer. And men, if you've been shaving with the same trimmer on your face, you've been doing it wrong. No person wants to end up with all that nasty stuff in their mouth, man. It's time to get your own bowl hair and body trimmer with Manscaped. Make sure you guys use code SCRIPT20 at checkout to save 20% off at manscaped.com. 20% off, free shipping, code SCRIPT20 at manscaped.com. Free shipping, manscaped.com. Unlock your confidence and always use the right tools for the job with Manscaped, man. I want to thank them for sending that out, man. I wanted to do an unboxing for you guys because I love doing unboxings. And it's always fun unboxing some cool shit. Manscaped.com. Go and get that today if you're a wife, girlfriend, and you want to get something nice for your husband or your boyfriend. Go do it, man. If you're a guy who wants to shop for yourself, there you go. There you go. Moving on with the rest of the show, man. We got Roman Reigns, Paul Heyman, Jey Uso. They stood in the back, and we seen a highlight package of Reigns beating Cesaro at Backlash. Roman Reigns was in the ring. He was about to bless us with his presence. He said he considers himself a humble man, and in fact, I take every opportunity I can to teach my sons about humility. He told Heyman he doesn't like to brag on live television, so he's going to take this opportunity to let his special counsel celebrate him. Heyman listed Reigns' wins since his return last year, including stacking Edge and Daniel Bryan on top of each other as if it was a handicap match at WrestleMania. He said they'll never see Edge again. Wink, wink. Yes, we will. And he also banished Bryan from SmackDown, and he says, and I quote, into a life of Bella retirement. Heyman says he just defeated the most polished and accomplished grappler in all of WWE. Said he beat Cesaro at his own game. He said it's a career highlight to celebrate and acknowledge the preeminent champion in all of WWE and sports entertainment. Heyman said his whim and wish is his command. What else may I please, or how else can I please you, and what else could I do for you, my tribal chief? Says Paul Heyman. Reigns said, bring me my cousin. So Heyman demanded the ringside producers to start Jay's music, and instead out comes Cesaro. So Cesaro comes out, and he's got his arm in a sling, obviously selling the effects of the Backlash match. Reigns yelled, cut this bum's music. Said he isn't his cousin, and he must be lost. Cesaro says he was looking for Seth, but instead he heard all this yapping from the ring. Reigns asks what he's going to do with one arm. Want me to break the other arm? Reigns asked. What do you want me to do? Cesaro suggested a rematch at Hell in a Cell. Reigns smiled and says, me and you again? You really want to do this again? Seth then attacked Cesaro from behind, and Seth took care of Cesaro here, threw him behind the ringside steps, into the ringside steps, then retreated. He stomped away at him at ringside. Two referees helped Cesaro to his feet. Seth charged back at him again and gave him a stomp. Pat Buck and Jamie Noble, two of the producers backstage, they joined the referees in trying to talk Seth into calming down, pulling him off of Cesaro. Seth then leapt past them all and gave Cesaro another stomp face first onto the steel, and that was pretty much it. Michael Cole mentioned that Seth Rollins almost looked possessed. So the medics rolled a stretcher out, and that was the way this segment ended. Now, I will say this about Roman. You know, I know a lot of you guys are maybe kind of getting bored with Roman. I've been hearing rumblings that some of the people in the community are bored with Roman. I don't know why you would be bored with Roman. In fact, I honestly think Roman is getting better week by week. You're seeing a little bit more of the dynamics in what he does. When he's serious, he's serious. Just like tonight. Bring me my cousin. And then when you see Reigns talking about Cesaro, You really want to do this with me again? What do you expect to do with one arm against me? What are you going to do with one arm? Get this bum out of here. Shut this bum's music off. The dynamics of what Roman Reigns does and the ranges of the Roman Reigns character, going from that type of dialogue to getting serious with Paul Heyman, bring me my cousin now. You know, this is something that you should be blessed in seeing, really. And a lot of people tell me that I complain for no reason. Why would you ever, on this planet, complain about what Roman Reigns is doing right now? We're not even in the beginning stages of this yet. We're not. Roman Reigns isn't even getting started yet as the Universal Champion, and you're already getting bored of him? Why? He's taking his family and he's reintroducing his family to you. He's building the Usos from the ground up again. What don't you appreciate about that? Roman Reigns is not wrestling Cesaro at Hell in a Cell. Seth Rollins attacked Cesaro the way that he did tonight because they're going inside Hell in a Cell. Jey Uso, he's avoiding Roman Reigns. Jimmy Uso, I should say. Jey Uso already felt the wrath of Roman Reigns. Jimmy Uso, he's the one that's going to be inside Hell in a Cell because he's got to learn like his brother Jay did. So Jimmy and Roman are going to be in the cell because this is where Roman Reigns gets to teach his cousins a lesson. And then after this lesson is taught and they acknowledge, then the Usos will be one. Then the Usos will go on to wrestle the Mysterios at SummerSlam and win the tag team championships. This is the way it's going to be. I don't mind the one-off match with Jimmy. I didn't mind the one-off match or the two matches with Jay because it was great storytelling. This is just a different dynamic. What's going to happen when Roman Reigns gets through this entire year and people are still claiming that they're bored? Then I get to tell you guys, what, you don't like long-term storytelling? Are you guys that poisoned by WWE booking? The normal WWE booking? Week to week, it doesn't matter. Nobody's important. Nobody feels important. Nobody's been given an opportunity to feel important. That's what you want? Or do you want something like Roman Reigns and what he's doing right now? Because everything is long-term. Everything that's happening now is going to have an adverse effect on Jimmy and Jey Uso moving forward. You have a problem with that? You guys got to get with the fucking program. For everybody that complains, that I complain, because I want better shows, I'm going to bring up this situation in this instance about me complaining. I'm going to mention the same thing to you guys. Stop complaining about Roman Reigns. Has his booking been a little lazy at times with Jimmy or Jay wrestling his battles? Yes, they have been. And I've said that myself personally. But it's not going to happen forever. I hope not. Just get with the program. Acknowledge him. And I think your viewing of Roman Reigns will be a lot easier to digest. So they replayed this Seth Rollins attack on Cesaro backstage. Megan, whatever. I was going to call her Megan Moron, but it's Megan Morant. Asked Seth why he went to such extreme measures. Just then, Cesaro was being wheeled past him on a gurney. Seth yelled at him and asked when he's going to learn while breathing very heavy. McAfee said he was a maniac tonight. This is mine! Or whatever he was yelling. So Seth Rollins is a man possessed. I actually got news on Seth Rollins. I got a couple stories on Seth Rollins, to be exact. Now, as far as Seth Rollins goes, I do think that he will be in the ring inside Hell in a Cell against Cesaro. Seth Rollins is doing an admirable job at explaining why he attacks Cesaro after WrestleMania Backlash. He's doing an admirable job at building this feud and filling in the gaps that WWE really isn't filling in for us. So he said this on The Bump. It was The Bump's 100th episode. They invited Rollins on the show. He was one of their debut guests in October of 2019. Things changed for the Messiah, since then, and he revealed why Cesaro caught a beating at WrestleMania Backlash. Rollins explained that Cesaro claims to be a high and mighty professional wrestler, but he keeps taking advantage of Rollins. So Seth Rollins accused Cesaro of taking advantage of a rain delay to beat him at WrestleMania, and then a few weeks later, he used Jimmy Uso's help to beat him and secure that Universal title match. He continued to say that if Jimmy didn't super kick him on SmackDown, then Cesaro would have never received that Universal title shot in the first place. Rollins then laid claim to being the hardest worker in the room, not Cesaro. So he says this, and I quote, "So he goes out there and he has his classic match against Roman, can't get the job done. I made an example out of him. I don't like the guy. We go back a long way. He's not the same person he used to be. He changed. That's why I did what I did, because he changed. That's why I hurt his arm. Hopefully that's the message he needs. Previously, he didn't understand. He got away with some free ones. This isn't a free one. That wing is going to be clipped for some time." Now, Rollins clearly is a psychopath. He's not the same person he used to be. Clearly, Seth Rollins is talking about himself. Cesaro has always been the Cesaro that we see now. Humble and honest and hardworking. So Cesaro is trying to flip the program on everybody when they look at Cesaro, making Cesaro seem like the maniac and Rollins seem like the normal one. So I admire Seth Rollins for possibly filling in the gaps where WWE really isn't telling any of that on TV. From what we watch on TV, we didn't hear any of that stuff. From what we watch on TV, we just see Rollins attacking Cesaro for no reason. That's it. No explanation. Nothing given to the audience. It takes us to go watch the bump to get the real answer to why Cesaro is being attacked by Seth Rollins. Now, who watches the bump? I know I don't. I don't give a fuck about the bump. But I would appreciate something like this being shown on television so that those gaps could be filled in, so I don't have to go out and research for you guys on what was said here. Why do we have to come to our own conclusions? Why can't WWE go the extra mile to, I don't know, tell us some engaging information and tell interesting stories? It's a little bit too hard for Bruce. I understand. I really do understand. Seth Rollins also mentioned as far as what's going on with Cesaro. He claimed that Cesaro should be a trainer in NXT. He should quit being a pro wrestler and become a trainer in NXT. So he went from the top of the mountain to the bottom of the bottom. He's pretty much useless at this point. I hope he understands that. I hope he really understands his self-worth now after all of this. You know, he'd be a great trainer in NXT. Maybe he leaves SmackDown, goes to NXT, goes to be with his wife, train the talent, teach them how to do wrist locks, teach them how to do headlocks, teach them how to follow their dreams. That all sounds great. That's what he should do. That sounds like a great spot for Cesaro. End quote. I think Rollins is right to an extent. After his wrestling career is done, I see all of that being done in NXT with Cesaro teaching all the youngsters at the Performance Center. So he's not completely wrong. We're just not in that time frame yet. So Rollins seemingly is predicting the future. I love it. Rollins also talked about Roman Reigns. This was also on the 100th episode of The Bump. Rollins was asked if he could see himself reuniting with Roman Reigns. No, come on. Roman and I, we don't need to have a working relationship. You know our history. We don't need to have a working relationship to be on the same page. We're up here and Cesaro is down here. So he's up here with Reigns and Cesaro is down here. That's just how it is. There's no conversation that needs to be had between myself and Roman to dictate what's going on when it comes to Cesaro. So there you go. They're really building this through other means, and we're definitely getting it at Hell in a Cell. But I said this for a couple weeks now. I have a feeling that Roman Reigns and Seth Rollins will be the main event of SummerSlam. I don't know how they build that match. I'm not interested in seeing that match, especially with fans back in attendance. I don't think Rollins is at a point right now where that interest in Rollins is there. I honestly feel like Roman Reigns right now is at the top of the top, And if you put Rollins in that situation with what he's doing and how hot Roman Reigns is and the lack of interest that's in Seth Rollins' character right now, Rollins is so boring that he may actually turn Roman Reigns back into a babyface. Rollins may be the fucking heel coming out of that match. Because who exactly would want Roman Reigns to lose to Seth Rollins? I know, not this guy. That's what I'm worried about. That's what I'm worried about. I do not want to see it happen. At all. Never mind now or maybe save it for the end of the year. I don't want to see it, period. I don't. Moving on with the rest of the show. Booyaka, booyaka. 619. Booyaka, booyaka. Ray and Dominik Mysterio. They came out with their newly won tag team championships. And we got a match with Dominik and Robert Roode. This is not over yet, folks. Not by a long shot. Dominik was behind. Then he rallied. Ziggler distracted him from the ring apron. Ray kicked Ziggler at ringside. Knocked him off the apron. Roode took control briefly against Dominik. Dominik avoided a charging Roode in the corner. He charged and hit the turnbuckle. He then hit a 619, hit a frog splash, and got the clean victory over Bobby Roode, did Dominik Mysterio. There's no tag team matches coming up for these two teams. It's over. It's over. Dolph Ziggler and Bobby Roode are fucking losers. They took out Dominik Mysterio before the Backlash pay-per-view. They took him out on the pre-show. They went into that match with a 2-on-1 handicap advantage, and they still lost the tag team championships. As far as I'm concerned, then they lost this match here tonight with Dominik pinning Bobby Roode. As far as I'm concerned, there are no more tag team championships for the Dirty Dogs. You both are losers. Let's move on. In fact, let's move on to a different team. Maybe Gable and maybe Otis. They've owned the Mysterios as of late. I'd be open to some fresh matchups. That's just me. Jimmy Uso was backstage. Jimmy let Jay know that they are wrestling next week against the Street Profits. You made a tag team match without checking with me first, Us, says Jay to Jimmy. He wasn't impressed with this news. I'm impressed with this match. This is going to be fantastic. This is the type of competition I've wanted for the Street Profits for a very long time. Jimmy said it's not about Roman, it's about us together. He said they accomplished a lot without him. Jay says he owes it to Roman to tell him this news. So Jay, he approached Paul Heyman and Reigns in the back. Jay said he had nothing to do with it. Roman Reigns was obviously pissed, stood up and asked, "Who's we?" He told Jay he's being selfish right now. "This is we," pointing at him and Jay. He hugged Jay and whispered something to him. We don't know what it was. Jay looked disturbed and emotional about how Reigns reacted and what was said to him. You know what's coming, folks. Jimmy's going to learn his fucking lesson inside Hell in a Cell. That is what the look of being disturbed was all about, written all over Jey Uso's face. It's coming. It's definitely coming. The Street Profits, they were excited about the tag team match against the Usos next week. Montez Ford was mocking Jey Uso. Angelo Dawkins says it won't be cute what they do to the Usos next week. They got serious at the end, looked at the camera, and did their usual "we wants the smoke." Caleb Braxton interviewed Sami Zayn backstage. He cut her off and said she was trying to get in his head before the match, blaming her, possibly for him losing. He called her a corporate hack and a protagonist. And he said that they will never forget the word conspiracy or propagandist. I'm sorry. A propagandist. He said he will never forget the word conspiracy no matter what anyone says or does to him. He said he will reclaim his status as the champion of the people and his persecution ends tonight. We got a fatal four-way coming up for the WWE Intercontinental Championship. This was the main event of the show. I love the Intercontinental Championship being in the main event. I think it's great. And the fact that we got these four guys main eventing a SmackDown, man, there's no way anybody could really hate on any of this. This was some great shit. This was some main events pay-per-view level bullshit that we got here in the Intercontinental Fatal 4-Way on SmackDown tonight. Now, I didn't really know who was going to win this thing. And these things are always so difficult, not only in my case to do reviews, to project onto you guys. So I'm not going to really waste too much time here. But it's always difficult to follow the action in this thing. It's always difficult to book this type of match. It's always difficult for someone to stand out in this type of match. I thought all four of these guys did a fantastic job. All of them stood out. Apollo stood out. Kevin Owens stood out. Sami Zayn stood out. Big E stood out. They all got their moment to shine in this thing. And I loved it. So we got everybody that made their entrances. And there were a lot of rapid fire moves. Everybody was getting an opportunity to do something here. So Sami cut off Big E running the ropes. KO went for a pop-up powerbomb on Sami. Sami blocked it. Kevin Owens came back by driving Sami headfirst onto his knee for a 2 count. Ushigoroshi. KO climbed the top rope. Cruz knocked him off balance. Big E suplexed both Cruz and Big E. KO landed a frog splash on Big E. Went for a cover, got a near fall middle of the ring. Kevin Owens then landed a cannonball right after that on Big E. Sami went after KO. Got a very close near fall off of a Blue Thunder bomb. Commander Aziz checked on Apollo Crews outside. Sami dragged KO to the center of the ring, climbed the top rope. Crews went after Sami. Sami punched him to the floor. Big E then went after Sami. Sami knocked him away. Kevin Owens avoided a Sami jump off the top rope. And I believe he transitioned into a second rope fisherman suplex on Sami Zayn. So after that, Big E lifted Sami. Kevin Owens super kicked Big E. Kevin Owens super kicked Sami. Cruz dove at KO. Cruz was then nailed with a beautiful sit-out pop-up powerbomb by Kevin Owens. That, I thought, was it. He got a near fall 2 count. Sami pulled Kevin Owens to ringside, threw him into the barricade. Kevin Owens then backdropped Sami over the barricade, so they are momentarily out of the match. Sami then all of a sudden comes back, suplexes KO onto his head at ringside on the floor. Sami re-entered the ring, charged. Big E gave him a Uranagi. Big E then gave Cruz a big ending. And everybody thought Big E was going to win the title. Aziz yanked him out of the ring as he made a cover on Cruz. That was it. Big E then shoved Aziz into the ring post. The lights went out. Then they flickered. All of a sudden, we seen white smoke fill the entranceway, and emerging from the white smoke is Aleister Black. Black entered the ring. The match stopped. Big E, who was about to win the IC title after pinning Cruz, took out Aziz, stands in the ring. Aleister Black looks fucking phenomenal. He looks phenomenal. He's got one contact in his right eye that's all white. So he's got no eye patch, but it looks like they're still kind of going with that missing eye or injured eye theme from what we last seen of him feuding with Seth Rollins. So that's pretty interesting. I wonder what that's going to be about and if they're going to mention that. But he had a white contact in his eye. He looked right at Big E. He gave him a fucking devastating black mass. 1, 2, 3. Apollo Crews gets the assist from Aleister Black, and he retains the Intercontinental Championship. This was a fantastic main event. Great fatal 4-way. Great surprise with Aleister Black coming out. Great first feud for Aleister Black and Big E. And I just hope that WWE fills in the blanks. We got a lot of questions coming out of this main event. Why? Why do we have Aleister Black, after all the vignettes, targeting Big E? Is Big E something that Aleister Black's father resembled? The makeup of Big E, is that what Aleister Black's father resembled? And Aleister Black is targeting Big E because he directly is the type of person that he's talking about in these vignettes? That's what I want to know. WWE needs to fill in all of these blanks. Why? It's the biggest question. It's the most important question. Why is he attacking Big E? If you don't tell me why, not many people are going to care outside, oh, I'm happy that Black is back. Yes, everybody's happy that Black is back, but we need to know why he's back and why he's targeting Big E. You already gave us a nice surprise in the ending. Now you got to fill in those holes. So hopefully WWE does that, and I'm happy that he's back because he's way too talented to just be sitting away in the back reading fucking stories. I'm glad he's back on SmackDown, and he's going to make a legit difference. You give him the ball and have him run with it, you're going to see things that you didn't expect to see on this show, man. Aleister Black is fucking awesome. And I'm finally in a situation right now where SmackDown, if they want to continue doing the things that they did tonight, it could be a vibrant show. How many great matches that we could potentially be looking at with Black being back? Oh, so good, man. So good. So he's back. He's targeting Big E. Hopefully we find out more on that situation as Aleister Black moves forward on SmackDown. Daniel Bryan. I saved the biggest and best for last, man. Daniel Bryan. Apparently, Impact Wrestling dropped a major hint of Daniel Bryan showing up at Slammiversary. Now, if you guys remember, WWE released a ton of people on April 15th of 2020. WWE did the same thing this year. But going back to last year, Impact Wrestling followed up WWE releasing a lot of different people on April 15th with an epic tease of former WWE superstars and one legitimately showing up in the company at their Slammiversary pay-per-view. Now, Eric Young, Brian Myers, and the Good Brothers did in fact join Impact Wrestling, with more coming in as well. They're at it with the same narrative this year. Since WWE released another crop of talent on April 15th this year, Slammiversary's commercial features and teases ex-WWE superstars who could potentially be at the event. They also teased the Iconics. They teased the Forgotten Sons. They teased Samoa Joe. They teased Chelsea Green. And they teased Daniel Bryan. Bryan's situation is very interesting. Now, this doesn't mean that he will actually be on the show. This doesn't mean that any of them will be on the show. But Impact does it to get everybody's attention. And they get geeks like me to report this news, which in turn builds hype for Slammiversary. That's why they do it. Bryan's situation, like I said, is very interesting. Nobody knows what's going on with Bryan. Nobody knows his status. Nobody knows what's up with him. Nobody knows his next move. AEW also seemingly has a spot open for Bryan in the Casino Battle Royale, which I don't think Bryan will be in the Battle Royale. That's not going to happen. If Bryan doesn't show up on May 30th at Double or Nothing, then Tony Khan might have upset some fans again. But he's not going to upset fans because they haven't really made mention of it being a big deal. They didn't go the same route like they did with Christian. A major name that's going to transcend AEW going into the future. It's a future Hall of Famer and yada yada. All that shit, and Christian Cage's debut was a complete flop. It was a failure. Because Christian Cage, yeah, he's a future Hall of Famer, but the way that they made it sound, it did sound like they were bringing in somebody the level of a Daniel Bryan. CM Punk. Everybody said if it's not Punk, then this and the hype around it and the way you're building it, it's going to fall flat. And that's exactly what it did. Now, AEW hasn't really made that mistake going into Double or Nothing. They're keeping their shit on lock. They're keeping this shit quiet. They haven't hyped anybody about this wild card, number 21 in the Battle Royal. They haven't made mention of any surprises. And good. Nobody wants to hear about it beforehand. Just let it happen. And it'll be bigger and better than you could have imagined. The fact that you hyped up Christian the way it did, and out comes Christian, it was a disappointment. WWE, obviously they're making an attempt to sign Daniel Bryan. Everybody in the fucking industry would probably be at each other's throats to get the services of Daniel Bryan. Bryan is not going to Impact. He's not. Samoa Joe could end up in Impact, and I even think he's too good for Impact. Do I see the Iconics going to Impact? Absolutely. Do I see the Forgotten Sons going to Impact? Absolutely. Do I see Chelsea Green going to Impact? Absolutely. In fact, she's already in contract talks with Impact Wrestling. In fact, her fiancé works for Impact in Matt Cardona. So if she doesn't go there, I'd be shocked. But Daniel Bryan is not going to Impact, folks. The only reason why WWE is letting him go is out of sheer respect, and they have full confidence in him coming back. WWE would be just shitting their pants trying to get this guy signed. They are just letting him be. Impact is only mentioning Daniel Bryan because everybody knows he's a free agent. They need to sell pay-per-views. They want you to tune in to maybe see a glimpse of Daniel Bryan debuting at Slammiversary, and he's not. Daniel Bryan would never go to Impact. Daniel Bryan, either WWE or New Japan, AEW, a little bit of both AEW and New Japan, maybe a Jericho-like contract, maybe a Kenny Omega-type contract. But he's not going to Impact. Why would he? He's going to get that type of money that he deserves in the later years of his career from Impact Wrestling? No. He wants top-tier talent. The well would be run dry very quickly if he went to Impact. Match with Sami, a match with Moose, a match with Rich Swann. After that, what's left? There's nobody there that's on Bryan's radar, really. Bryan's radar is vast, and it doesn't include anybody from Impact Wrestling. They only do it to sell pay-per-views. They are desperate, and it's a gimmick that they've been doing for the last couple years. Don't believe it. Don't believe their bullshit. Guys, that is it. That is the SmackDown post-show right here on Off the Script, man. I appreciate you guys hanging out with me. We are looking at 567 likes on the live stream right now. Make sure you guys hit that thumbs up, and let's try to get to 750. Make sure you guys also follow me on social media at JDfromNY206. That is Twitter and Instagram. Hit that subscribe button down below. Turn on the bell for all notifications. If you guys missed any of the podcasts that I've uploaded this week, they are all live on the channel right now. And if you guys want to go get yourself Manscaped and the new Lawnmower 4.0, go and get it today, man. Use code SCRIPT20 at checkout. Manscaped.com. You guys are going to save 20% off this bad boy right here, man. Super chats are open. Let's get them on in. We're going to hang out a little bit. I got my cold beverage here that's been sitting here. That's not too cold anymore. I appreciate you guys in the chat. Appreciate my mods as well. Let's see what we got going on here, man. I know YouTube is still messing up with the super chats. They don't all filter in through the live control center. So I got to read them right from the YouTube studio. But we're going to start off with Nate. Nate with a $4.99 super chat. Hey, JD, our dear friend and fellow viewer of your channel, at heel Roman Reigns is God. Heels are awesome. He passed away at the age of 20. First of all, Nate, how do you know that? Number one. Number two, I don't know who he is. Number three, he passed away at the age of 20 from what exactly? What's the situation there? You got to fill me in on that. But anyway, thoughts and prayers go out to heel Roman Reigns is God. Heels are awesome. Sorry to hear that bad news, man. Ross Smaglinski with a $2 super chat. Roman's entrance is better than anything on Raw. Bro, the gas that I'm currently passing right now is better than anything on Monday Night Raw. Daniel Easterday with a $5 super chat. Got my koozie this week. Thank you, JD. And Hoot Media. I'm proud to donate. This is the best show on YouTube and in the IWC. Please never quit Mr. No Days Off. Daniel, I'm not going anywhere, bro. Enjoy your koozie, man. Michelle Moran with a $5 super chat. Hey, JD, call me crazy, but I can see two things at Hell in a Cell. Cesaro, Roman in some form, and Daniel Bryan returning. Bryan was name-dropped tonight by Heyman. Daniel Bryan is going to continue to be name-dropped because they are obviously still in contract negotiations and very hopeful that they do get him signed. If WWE found out that he was going somewhere else and did not sign with the company, he would not be name-dropped on television. That's just a tactic that WWE uses to make sure, you know, they keep everybody in their good graces. It's going to be Roman and Jimmy, Cesaro and Seth at Hell in a Cell. Daniel Bryan will not be there. Bryan comes back. I see it happening with fans in attendance. Gregory Benson with two $4.99 super chats. JD, what's your favorite Shawn Michaels versus Bret Hart match? The 1992 Survivor Series, the WrestleMania 12, or the Survivor Series 1997? The Survivor Series 1997, if the screw job didn't happen, it probably could have went on to be their best match. But it wasn't. It was more about what Vince did to Bret than anything. Survivor Series 1992 was my favorite match between both Shawn Michaels and Bret Hart. Also, I can't believe it's been 10 years since Macho Man passed. I don't believe it was 10 years either when I heard it, man. The thing is, when Macho Man passed, I was working at the watch store in Manhattan, and I was on my way to a Capital One bank to cash my paycheck for the week. And then I heard about, someone called me and told me the news. I don't remember who it was that called me, but I heard about it that day on my way to go cash my check from work. It's crazy how I remember where I was exactly, man. Might have been on like 58th Street or something like that. Jacob Donnelly with a $5 super chat. Only thing I took from this show is that Aleister Black is back and I couldn't be happy. Jacob, he's now back, and I hope WWE knows what the fuck they're doing, man. I really do. Ben with a $5 super chat. Honestly, really liked the show. Seeing Bugenhagen was fantastic. Also, the main event was pretty good, and seeing Black come back will be good with Big E. I agree, man. Show was all right. A lot of talking points on tonight's show. A lot of Roman, Jimmy, Jay. I like that stuff. Seth and Cesaro was good. The main event was great. Black being back was great. His vignette was great. A lot of good stuff on tonight's show, man. Can't hate on it. Kenley Pierre with a $5 super chat. If Kofi wins the WWE title, then Cole could come in and take the title. He could. Do I see WWE doing that? No. Grace's Corner with a $5 super chat. How do you feel about Velveteen Dream being released? You're going to have to watch Off the Script this weekend. Off the Script will be live, like I'm live now on Sunday. No video, no podcast Saturday. We will be live on Sunday afternoon, man. So get ready. It's going to be the top story for Sunday's Off the Script Live. Bradley Xavier, $2 Australian. Ed Murphy. And you have a strong 6 for SmackDown mid-card. Absolutely. Buddy Murphy deserves to be back on SmackDown. I could see him having a great match with almost anybody on that fucking roster, man. It's a shame. Captain Solo with a $5 super chat. Who's the most likely to take a chance on Velveteen Dream next? Nobody. Velveteen Dream's wrestling career is finished. He'll never be in another promotion ever again. And who do you prefer as Batman, Michael Keaton or Christian Bale? Christian Bale. Christian Bale was Batman in one of my favorite movies of all time, The Dark Knight. Red Pie with a $1 super chat leaves no message. Take your $1 and throw it in the tip jar, Brad. Tip the bartenders. They're working hard for you. Don't be shy. Team Forward with a $4 super chat. Pat McAfee has more personality than Adnan Virk. Pat McAfee has more personality and more charisma than most of the WWE roster, man. Never mind Adnan Virk. Mackenzie with a $4.99 super chat. My boyfriend and I are driving 15 plus hours from Buffalo, New York to see you next weekend. He's home listening right now. Can you please say hi, Nick G? You guys are fucking crazy, man. You guys are fucking crazy. You're driving first of all, you're driving 15 hours to come see me at the Intuition Ale Works in Jacksonville, Florida. Meet and greet off the script right before Double or Nothing. That is one of the most dedicated fucking things that I've ever heard in regards to this show, man. I don't even know what to say. That is fucking crazy. Nick G, you fucking goon. We'll be sharing beers. You, me, and Mackenzie. And maybe Hoop Media. Maybe. Hoop Media, Hoop Media's a little iffy. But I appreciate that, guys. Thank you so much. Moving on with the super chats, man. That was a good one. That was a good one, man. Let me get some tunes playing here. Got some Carl Casey playing on the sound system inside the venue. Indigo with a $5 super chat. Much respect, JD. Did you see last night's episode of Dark Side? That was another crazy story. The AEW effect is real. Another awesome live stream. Indigo, I have not watched any of Dark Side of the Ring, man. I have gotten lazy. I put so much of my viewing time into The Walking Dead. I just started season 10. I want to get through all of season 10 and then be ready for season 11 in August. So I am incredibly backlogged on everything. But I appreciate you, Indigo. Thank you so much, man. Jesse Caro with a $20 super chat. Hey, JD, had an idea I wanted to share with you. Whenever Jurassic Express wins the titles, it should be an elimination match where Luchasaurus gets counted out and Jungle Boy fights like hell to win for his team. What do you think? I don't know if I'd book it exactly that way, Jesse. But the titles need to be on a team that is absolutely despised. There needs to be a packed crowd in attendance, and Jungle Boy needs to get the victory. But yes, I do see them as tag team champions. They're too good of a team not to be. World of Wrestling with a $5 super chat. If Baszler goes to SmackDown, do you think he should win Money in the Bank and then challenge Reigns at SummerSlam like RVD did at One Night Stand? I would be for that. I think after this coming Tuesday with Baszler and Cross, Cross beats Baszler and Baszler is done in NXT. Wrestling with Respect, $9.99 super chat. Never thought we'd say this, but actually thought Cole McAfee added a lot to the Fatal 4-Way. Hope to see you in Jacksonville, brother. Oh, I'll be there, man. I'll be there. I said this on Twitter. I believe I mentioned it briefly on last week's live show. I think Pat McAfee is actually making Michael Cole a better commentator. I think there are some situations in some instances where Pat McAfee puts a smile on Michael Cole's face because he's a little outlandish. You know, he'll be standing up during a match, which I absolutely love because Morrow did the same thing. Morrow always used to jump out of his chair when something big happened, something unpredictable happened. But I do think Pat McAfee brings a sense of seriousness to the show because he's a fan. So it's just not some random geek on commentary. I think his seriousness makes Michael Cole more serious of an announcer. I think it's a great duo. I'm loving what they're doing, man. Adnan, on the other hand, get rid of him. Guy's awful. He does not have the pro wrestling commentator voice. He doesn't. I'll see you guys in Jacksonville. Intuition Aleworks, Sunday. Double or Nothing Sunday. 1 to 4 p.m. 4th Marine Sergeant Bull Fisher. $10 super chat. I know it's not much, but God bless you, brother. Keep holding on to the Lord. You're doing well. Keep me in your prayers. Thoughts and prayers are with you. Sergeant, I appreciate the $10 super chat. Ty Sloan, $1.99 super chat. Thoughts on Iron Maiden and Seether. I don't like Iron Maiden, was never a fan of Iron Maiden, and their beer sucks. And Seether, bro, Chick Band 101. Give me a break. 1L, $2 super chat. No characters, long, dark-haired, bearded era. Pretty much. Pretty much, man. Jaden Vlogs with a $9.99 super chat. WWE back to live events? My God, I'm scared. I just hope it's not rematches, but great review tonight and have a good weekend. Appreciate that, Jaden. Tenario128, $10 super chat. Who is the best promo in wrestling right now? MJF. Hoolagrim, $5 super chat. Has Mean Marky D been buried? Rest in peace. Bro, Mean Marky D has not been buried, man. Mean Marky D, I gave him a 2-week vacation. Apparently him and Tony hit it off. He took her to the Bahamas. He'll be back soon. Ty Salom, $1.99 super chat. Thoughts on Smash Mouth and Sugar Ray as bands? Bro, I am not a fairy. I do not listen to Smash Mouth and Sugar Ray. Sugar Ray was better when they did hard rock instead of this fucking poppy bullshit that they do now. Is Sugar Ray even still making music? Mark McGrath. Wasn't he the sexual fucking pleasure of a ton of women back in the day? Didn't he sleep with Pamela Anderson? Who didn't sleep with Pamela Anderson? Also, he says, do you like Rocker Costello girl who was at Mania? No. If that is the woman who sung Rhea Ripley to the ring, she needs to quit the business. Awful. Sixers 205, $4.99 super chat. Will Kevin Dunn and Bruce be on season 2 of Critiques and Connoisseurs? No. If Bruce Pritchard was on the show, they'd probably take me away, and Hodge would have to do it all on his own. It will be verbal fucking suicide. A verbal murdering. They'd have to take me away in handcuffs, man. Can't leave Hodge hanging like that. The Woofness Way with a $5 super chat. Chilling at the bar, having a Gillis, celebrating my birthday. Also marks 4 years now that I've been listening to OTS. You're the GOAT, brother. Bro, you're at the bar watching me having a Guinness. It doesn't get any better than that. Happy birthday, man. Enjoy yourself, and thank you for being with the OTS family for 4 years. Theo with a $14.99 super chat. JD, do you see them doing another deadly game tournament at Survivor Series? No, I do not. And do you think Aleister Black wins a top-tier belt very soon? Could be the IC title. I hope so. Jericho 8131 with a $10 super chat. This is the most legitimate Aleister Black has looked since NXT, and I'm happy and excited for him. P.S. Today has been 4 years since Jinder Mahal won the WWE Championship and killed SmackDown Live. Bro, did you really have to remind me of that? Did you have to remind me of that, man? Why? Come on, man. Jesus Christ. Why would anybody want to know that fucking piece of information? Lapperio with a $10 super chat. Hey, JD, another fun show tonight. This is my first super chat. Wanted to ask you something other than wrestling. I know you're a Lord of the Rings Hobbit fan and wanted to know who is your favorite characters. Well, I loved Bilbo. I thought Bilbo was awesome. And I always was a Gandalf mark. I always loved Gandalf. And to be honest with you, man, you know, he's definitely in the characters of the Lord of the Rings realm. You know, I'm not going to say Legolas or fucking Aragorn or Gimli or fucking any of the hobbits. You know, you got your Gandalfs, you got your Bilbos. I love the Dwarf King in the Hobbit films. Forgot his fucking name. It always escapes me. But one of my favorite characters, if not my favorite character in all 6 of the movies, was fucking the dragon. That was it. The fucking dragon with the scene in the mountain with the gold and Bilbo. Probably my favorite scene in all of Lord of the Rings realm. From all the Peter Jackson movies. Loved it. Furious Nation. Beast in the chat. You better watch your fucking mouth, bro. You better watch your mouth. You're a hair trigger away from a fucking permanent benching, bro. In the chat. Furious Nation with a $10 super chat. What's up, JD? SmackDown was a good show tonight, as well as Rick Boogs. McAfee dancing to Boogs was hilarious. That makes Michael Cole better, which you tweeted out earlier this week. Yes. I do think Pat McAfee makes Michael Cole better. Yes. The Cog 97, Thorin Oakenshield. I loved him, man. I thought he was fucking great. I thought he was fucking great, man. Thorin. Tanner Pollock. I'm going to call you out and give you your 15 seconds of fame, motherfucker. Tanner Pollock, imagine wasting your money on JD. Haha, losers. Oh, I'm sorry, bro. You have absolutely no charisma and personality. Nobody's going to be throwing you money, bro. What are you, jealous? You take the money and go blow it at the fucking strip joint up the street because you can't get any pussy on your own. Meanwhile, I have dedicated fans like Mackenzie and Nick driving 15 hours to come see me. What has anybody done like that for you? Your parents are probably driving 15 hours to move a fucking weight from you. That's what they're probably doing. Get them out of the fucking chat. Laura Conway, $4.99. Happy Friday, JD. I hope you're having a great night. Glad I'm here with the OTS family tonight. Thank you for another great review. Love you. Thank you, Laura. You know, I'd shut the whole chat off, but I know people like to chat. Furious Nation with a $5 super chat. Happy to see Aleister Black. Aleister versus Big E. Take my money. Thomas Buchanan. No, he's not. Get out of my chat. Matthew Malnar. $5 super chat. What's good, JD? Thank you again for the koozie, brother. Much appreciated. Super stoked to see Aleister Black back. Enjoy the koozie, man. Keep those beverages cold. I love how people come into the chat and say BC Amplified is better than JD. Do you people know that I'm very cool with BC, that I've shared beer with BC, that I've actually spent the New Year's with BC? Try again, bitch. Try again. Raging Girl Gamer with the $10 super chat. I don't understand how anyone can sleep on Nia Jax. I mean, you have seen this woman work in the ring. Amazing. I've never seen her do a botch in her entire career. Also, Batman sucks. Rage, just give $10 to the bouncer and you could remove yourself from the venue. Thank you. I love BC, man. BC's my boy. Coggies with the $10 super chat. Pump for next Sunday. Hope you and Jesse have a blast. A local movie theater is playing Double or Nothing, so me and my brother will keep an eye out. Still ordering y'all beers at Intuition. What times again? Coggies, 1 to 4. Intuition Ale Works, right next to Daly's place. Sunday. Thank you for the $10, brother. Chakra Rasta with a $5 super chat. The Rock vs. Roman Reigns, WrestleMania 38. I got Roman. Who you got, JD? Roman. Roman all the way. Bro, I could teach Rhea Ripley promo class, bro. Daniel Rodriguez with the $4.99 super chat. JD, I told you people are going to want to see you and get your autograph. Don't forget the markers, brother. I may have to stop at a CVS on the way to Intuition, bro. It's crazy. People want my fucking autograph, baby. Who the fuck am I? Kevin Heffernor, $2 super chat. Do you think Vince to keep Roman heel with the fans back? Of course he is. Why would you change the best thing in all pro wrestling? Mr. Premium. Mr. Premium's in the chat. What's up, brother? He's got a, if I could find him, where the fuck did he go? There he is. Mr. Premium 2002 with a $4.99 super chat. What's up, JD? Just got here. But I was wondering, what's your favorite Alter Bridge song other than Blackbird? Open Your Eyes is mine. Top 3 Alter Bridge songs. Blackbird, in this particular order. Blackbird, The Last Hero, which is the title track off of The Last Hero. And then Fortress, which is the title track off their album, Fortress. Anybody that don't know Alter Bridge, go listen to those songs. Anybody that does listen to Alter Bridge, listen to them again. And you'll realize why they're my 3 favorite Alter Bridge songs. When Alter Bridge does the 7-minute epic, that's when they're at their best. That's my personal preference. 4th Marine, Sergeant Bull Fisher's Raider, USMC. Thank you again for the $5 super chat. Thank you again, brother. Take care of yourself, man. Israel with a $5 super chat. Hey, JD, it looks like I have to check out SmackDown later tonight. I'm glad that Manscaped is sponsoring you again. Thanks to you, I have my old one. Bro, now you got to get yourself the lawnmower 4.0. You may have the 2.0. They've advanced. Your balls will thank you. Ty Sloan, $4.99 super chat. What bands would you like to still be active from back then? Also, thoughts on the Marvel movies getting political. Also, will Linkin Park get a new singer? Linkin Park will not get a new singer. They are done. I don't want any bands to be active. Chimera, maybe? I wish Dying Fetus would be back active. I think they're an incredible death metal band. Fear Factory's got a new album coming out. I don't know who their new singer is going to be because Burton Bell is leaving. Or quit already. And the Marvel movies, I don't watch any movies, man, that has political undertones. The one movie I'm looking forward to is A Quiet Place 2. That's what I'm looking forward to. Ty Sloan with a $4.99 super chat. Thank you, brother. Kenley Pierre, $3.99. Better in the ring, Bret Hart or Kurt Angle? Bret Hart. Nate with a $9.99 super chat. His sister told me that he passed away after I sent him a YouTube comment about the new AEW deal. His sister said he passed away, and he suffered a seizure and he never recovered. Sorry for the confusion. He suffered a seizure because of a YouTube comment about the new AEW deal moving to TBS. If you talk to his sister, Nate, tell them that I said my thoughts and prayers are with the family. Curious Nation with a $5 super chat. My apologies, JD, if I upset you. Please don't bench me in the chat. No reason to bench you, bro. I don't know what you said that would have angered me, but I'm feeling okay. Chase Wood with a $4.99 super chat. What are your thoughts on I Prevail? Never heard of him. Do you know who prevails? Me. Over everybody that's live every single fucking week on this channel. Can't wait for OTS tomorrow. OTS will not be live tomorrow. OTS will be live, streamed on YouTube, Sunday night. Tomorrow, I will be on Twitch with the guys playing Destiny 2. We got the Vault of Glass. The first ever raid is coming back to Destiny, and I will be streaming it. So make sure you guys join me on Twitch, where that will be epic and fun. Daniel Rodriguez. Thank you for the $4.99 super chat, brother. Keep doing JD, or keep going JD Negan on these trolls, brother. I love your comebacks to the idiots on here who don't get to know how to act. I appreciate you, man. Thank you for the kind words. Lucille is in the Lucille's actually in the corner. I'd go get Lucille, but I don't want to get up. Lee Laws with a $5 super chat. How are you tonight, JD? I wanted to know if you watch anime. If so, what's your favorite anime out right now? Mine is Jujutsu Kaisen. Bro, Lee Laws. Let me tell you something, man. I don't watch anime. I don't watch anime. No. Thank you for the $5. Raging Girl Gamer with two $5 super chats. Quit saying who I am. You put so much work into what you love and people admire that. You speak the truth and people respect that. Rage, who am I? Some geek who talks pro wrestling. Brian Finelli with a $4.99 super chat. My wife and I are watching live together. Today is her birthday. Wish her a happy one. Mrs. Brian Finelli. Happy fucking birthday. I'd love to know what your beverage of choice is, if you do indeed drink. I'm not sure. Some people might enjoy a nice cold beverage that's non-alcoholic. Appreciate you, Brian. Happy birthday. Hopefully you got the wife something nice for the birthday today. The fact that you're spending your birthday with me, watching me talk about SmackDown, that gets a thumbs up of approval from me. Theo, $4.99 Super Chat, he says, how's it going? It's going, bro. It's going. Mods are taking care of the fucking geeks in the chat. Everything's good, man. Edgar Estrada. $50 Super Chat. Happy Friday, JD. Great review. Here's a little something to show my appreciation to you and the OTS family for being there when I need you. Shout out to Raging Girl Gamer. Love you. Please keep Mama Grimm in your prayers. Love you, Hooli. Have a great weekend, JD. Edgar, you're a fucking beast, bro. Has anybody told you how much of a fucking beast you are, Edgar? Edgar's got love for everybody in the chat. Everybody. Always. Ty Sloan, $1.99 Super Chat. Favorite Star Wars hero, also Batman vs. Yoda. Thank you. Ty. I hate Star Wars. I'm a Lord of the Rings guy. Sue me. Batman vs. Yoda. I'm taking Batman. Fuck Yoda. Matthew Malnar. Matthew Malnar. $2 Super Chat. How stoked are you for Vogue to come back? Vault of Glass. I'm stoked. Just give me my fucking fate bringer, and that's all I ask, man. I don't even give a fuck. I don't give a shit if you bless me with anything else, man. Give me my fate bringer. Firefly, and that is it, bro. Half of you people watching me are probably asking yourself, what is the fate bringer? It's a fucking handgun in Destiny that has been an absolute classic. Favorite. Reborn. Just give me the fate bringer, man. I use nothing else in Destiny. That shit ain't leaving my fucking class setup ever. Nate with a $4.99 Super Chat. He suffered from seizures ever since he was little. He got one not because of the new deal. Sorry for confusing you. Go ahead and call me a goon, JD. Listen, Nate, I don't give a rat's ass about the explanation. I know what you're talking about. I feel bad that this kid passed away at 20 years old, man. Tell his sister that I give my thoughts, prayers, and condolences to them. We're gonna miss Roman Reigns is God in the chat. All right, guys, I'm getting out of here, man. We went over a lot today. I appreciate you hanging out with me on your Friday night. Make sure you guys follow me on social media at JDfromNY206. That's Twitter and Instagram. Hit that subscribe button down below. Turn on the bell for all notifications. Hit that thumbs up, guys. We are less than 100 away from 750. Let's do it. If you guys have not hit that thumbs up, hit that thumbs up right now. Programming note. I'll be live on Twitch tomorrow. Vault of Glass with the guys. Sunday, live off the script. Mark your calendars. I'll be live. Make sure you guys hit up Manscaped. Manscaped.com. Use code SCRIPT20 at checkout to get yourself the new Lawnmower 4.0 and anything else that they offer on the website, man. Save yourself some money. Your balls are going to thank you. And like I said, go check out all the other videos that you might have missed on the channel. There is a ton of content just waiting for you on the homepage. All right, guys, you know the deal. You know the deal. It was a beautiful day. It was gorgeous. 77 degrees today. The Mustang is looking great. The windows are down. I got my cold beverage. I want two things from everybody in the chat. Number one, I want to see those guitar emojis up and down this live chat. And number two, that music you're listening to, I want you guys to put that on max. I'll see you guys tomorrow on Twitch and then Sunday with the next episode of Off the Script. Until then, guys, I'll see you later.